Talk hips. Today we're going to talk about the last two words from the 10 words of stack and tilt. Again, I will explain you why we have to do that. I will show you how this will improve your ball strike. And again, I will give you some small drills and some exercises how you can practice that, hoping that that will improve your game. Thanks for watching. Welcome to my channel. Talking hips. This is the last two words of those 10 words in stack and tilt, because it is what happens the last. It is the last part in our swing. I would say that tucking the hips is not only the action of extending after hitting the golf ball, but it actually starts with moving our lower hub or shifting our lower hub forward in a linear way towards the target. So that will be the first part. And then after that, because moving those hips forward, moving that lower hub forward is already an act of extension, okay, which will lead me to a P10 where my spine is extended. So what happened actually during a golf swing is that at P1 I am in a flexed position. My spine is gradually extending to P4. If you have watched the previous videos about the 10 words, when we were talking about the shoulder down, I explained that pretty in detail. What happens from P4 is that our spine has to go into flexion again till P7, probably a little bit more than P7 before reaching P8, and from there on my spine is start extending again. It will extend more, or will be extended more at P10 than it was extended at P4. Moving that lower hub forward is important. First of all, when we come to our three fundamentals, in order to hit the ball or impact the ball on a downward pass with an angle of attack hitting into the ball and into the ground, because it will help me to move that low point more in front of the ball. The second reason why we have to move that lower hub forward in a linear way towards the target is because I have to change my spine angle. I have to tilt my spine angle to the right in order to be able to turn around that tilted spine angle and keep the same inclination to the ground. If I would not do that, and I see that so many times, that the players are obsessed or believe that the turning of the hips will create more power, and the only thing they are trying to do from P4 is to turn their hips as fast as possible, which will lead to not having the club in the plane anymore, and it is completely impossible for them to extend, because they are not tilting their spine angle to the right. Their spine angle stays tilted to the left, and this is what in your terms you call hitting over the top or outside in. So there the importance of start moving that lower hub forward. I understand that this sometimes is pretty hard to achieve, to change that sequence, to be able from P4 to start moving downwards and forward. But if you have watched any of my previous videos, many of those small things you want like to change in your sequence, you can already set up differently at P1. So if at your P1 you try to push your whole lower hop slightly more forward, that will help you already, and you do not have the need to push the hop forward so much, because at setup you already have your positioned your lower hop a little bit more towards the target. Exercises we can do to extend more. As I said before, lower hop slightly forward at P1 will help definitely. If you have watched the previous videos about the 10 words, we have a nice exercise to practice our P9, where I position the club here in front. I tuck my hips. I'm already slightly extended. Now I will pivot around my left leg, and the idea is to turn around that left leg, and at the same time gradually start extending more. From here, in an extended position, moving my lower hop forward, keep on moving around and up and extending more my spine. The biggest mistakes I see when players actually try to actively extend more is that they are moving their head back. It doesn't happen so much with the irons, because in a certain way you are aware that you have to hit down on the ball. But with a driver, because you have the knowledge that we have to hit up on the ball, but they try to achieve that by moving their head back, and this is not extending. Extending starts with moving the lower hop forward, keep on raising up my spine. So all those golfers who believe that you have to turn your hips fast, which end up with their lower hop more in front of, with their higher hop more in front of the lower hop, exiting the club like this, they will have no chance of controlling the low point of the club, and the club will hit the slowest in the ball. These are definitely the shortest balls you can hit. As always, start practicing slowly, shorter swings, raising up. A very important checkpoint is that when you raise up, that your right shoulder always is lower than the left. Shorter swings, raising up, right shoulder lower than the left. And again, you can start doing that with shorter swings. Push your lower hop slightly forward, shorter backswing, raising up. In this way, you will generate more speed in your club. You will hit higher balls, which will also lead to longer shots. And once you feel comfortable, you can start making full swings, extending the most. Good. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video today. I hope this will be helpful for you. Thank you for watching. See you soon. Bye bye.